Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to start in just a moment. Avandi, when you have a chance, pour hot water in this cup. Thank you. Yeah, everyone dedicate the shiur to Lili Shmat or if wash them up, put me hot water.
Anyone?
Let's do Lili Shmat for Miriam.
It might have been has it been a year?
Who cares?
Miriam, but Miriam.
For the Keilah, beautiful. Okay, Rabbi Chaim, we're about to begin. I went through many different versions of our shiur today. It's good. Thank you. We're going to do Derush Yud Zayin 17. I think it's a profound lesson here that I think we're going to learn. There's a paper. Remember, let's give out some papers for everyone. Yeah, just one. I put all three columns in one.
Yud Zayin, right?
Yeah, Yud Zayin. Beautiful. Okay. So, he begins with a Gemara from Masechet Pesachim. Beautiful story. I thought it was very touching. And then, it dawned upon me something. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, wow, such a zechut the guy wanted to do in the story, and yet look what came out of it. So what was it? It's recording, yeah? Should be recording. It's recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay, very good.
I don't think it's recording.
It's recording.
It's hiding the numbers on the side, yeah? Okay. All right, so let's begin. There's a Gemara on Nun Gimel Amud Aleph in Pesachim. Todos, that's the guy's name. Ish Romi, a Jew from Rome. Hinhig et Bnei Romi. He told the entire community of Rome, Jewish community, you know what we're going to do on Pesach? It's a shame we don't have any more the Beit HaMikdash. We're going to make, in commemorance of the Korban, we're going to take a regular kid, not one that I designated for Korban, a non-sacrificial kid, and we're going to roast it exactly like we do in the Beit HaMikdash. The innards will be taken out and placed next to it. It's going to be completely roasted. And this way he felt the community will not forget the Korban. Imagine having a Pesach with shish kebab. Wow, so great. Imagine having it the right way with the roasting and like the Beit HaMikdash. Whoa. Todos did that. So Todos Ish Romi, Hinhigit B'nei Romi, Le'echol Gedaim Mikulasim, Beleil Pesach, in the night of Pesach. Shalchu Lo, the Chachamim sent to him. Ilmale Todos Ata, if not for the fact that you are Todos, Ata, that you were, Gozranu Alecha Nidui. We would have decreed upon you to be in Cherem, excommunicated. Why? She'ata Karov, you're close to Leha'achil, to make Bnei Yisrael and Yisrael to eat Kodashim, a sacrifice, Bachutz, outside of Yerushalayim. You're going to cause the people to think, once Mashiach comes and the Beit Midrash is back, and if we have this minhag to eat the fake Korban Pesach at home, everyone's going to say, yeah, of course, my grandpa did it. We ate at home. The Korban, we eat at home. That's it. Not Yerushalayim. Kodshim, home. You're going to get confused. So, what's going on here? Oh, and the Gemara says, but because your name is Todos, we're not. we're not going to put you in cherem. And then the Gemara goes a little further and says, "Umay chashivute de todos." What was so special about todos? Rabbi Yossi bar Avin Avar meitil melai. He would take merchandise and shove it into lakis to the pocket of Talmidei Chachamim, so they could go and sell and make some extra cash. Kind of sounds like you're bribing everybody here. Todos, you should really get cherem. You'd be excommunicated. Nobody allowed to marry into your family. No one could talk to you. No one could do business with you. But because you shoved pockets, lined the pockets of the rabbis with merchandise for them to sell, we're going to turn a blind eye. Doesn't sound right. It's this whole story, this whole concept. Nothing here makes sense. So I'm going to back it up a little bit, and I'm going to tell you two stories. Story number one goes in the beginning of Pesachim. One Kohen tells to the other Kohanim, this teruma business, I get only the size of a lizard's tail. Ooh. The Chacham heard that, and they said, no, Yehudim don't talk like that. We don't say the animal that's tameh. Come here. And they checked him out. Not even a Kohen, not even a Jew. Don't belong here. Another story goes, in Tzipori, all the way away from the Beit HaMikdash, one Roman boasted, I enjoy the Korban Pesach. V'chol arel, anyone who's not circumcised, lo yochal bo, could not eat it. That's in this week's Parshat. I had it for a long time. I love it. And the rabbi said, you're not allowed to have that. Tell the Beit HaMikdash that you want the best piece. You never even had the best piece. What best piece? What are you talking about? You never had the tail. The aliyah, the tail. He goes and he says to them, include the tail this time. What do you mean tail? Tail goes to Hashem. No. The rabbi told me the tail is the best tasting one. I'm getting it this time. The rabbi told you? They grabbed this guy, put him into the jailhouse to check it out. Not a Jew. They found out and they sent a message. The rabbi all the way in the south over there figured out for us over here in the Beit HaMikdash and saved us from doing the Averah of allowing an Arel to eat this korban. He could put meat on a spit and roast it all day, but to have the korban from the Beit HaMikdash, you can't have. We were so makbid in how they spoke. We were so makbid to make sure that the rabbi said one extra word, give the tail, you already figured things out. We don't really bribe anybody. And what's going on here? How to understand this story? Todos told everyone, we're going to have a commemoration of the Korban Pesach. Everybody at home, roast your own meat. Chacham said to him, really, you should be in Cherem. In fact, Cherem comes, there's 24 things a person does that gets himself into Cherem. Because he's going to ask later on, what time is it? Okay, got to move quicker. He's going to ask later on, he's going to say, hold everything. This is a famous question everybody asks, all students ask. Rabbi, how come sometimes the Gemara says, if I do an Averah, I get Averah of the Rabbanan, I get Makot Mardut. The rabbis can hit me 5 sets of Makot in one shot, which is supposed to be very strict. And then now you're telling me you get excommunication, which is worse than that. Whoa. How do we do this? Why sometimes this way? Why sometimes that way? Okay. So, this is the question that the Zera Shimshon is going to ask. He brings it from the Rambam. And after that, we're going to see a very, very important lesson here. The answer is going to give us a very important lesson. Okay, everyone has the question clear? This guy, Todos, he was turned the blind eye on him. He turned away, no cherem for you. You're a big tzaddik. You support the rabbis. Looks like a bribe. So look at the question. Makshim ha'olam. The world asks. V'chi chas v'shalom hechnifu lo rabbanan. The rabbanan, they got smeared. They took a bribe. V'chahayim matil melai lechisam. He would fill their pockets, the rabbis' pockets, with merchandise to sell, meaning he would support them, that they should have parnasah. And not only that, ma inyan zeh lezeh. What's the connection of supporting Torah cancels your cherem? How does that work? So, V'yesh Lomar, and he brings the Rambam. So I printed out part of the Rambam here to go through it Yesh Lomar the Perik Vav Mehilchot Talmud Torah, in the laws of how to learn Torah. Mana harambam esrim ve'arba devarim. The Rambam counted 24 things shemenadin et ha'adam, that puts the person to cherem. Now, it uses the word menadin. Nidui is the noun. Menadin becomes the verb. What do we say when we wanted to give todos? Todos, we said, Shegozreinu, we're going to decree on you, right? Shegozer alecha nidui. You should have said menadin. Verb. Why you're calling in, we're going to decree on you. So this is already a hint to the answer. Those words are very precise. What is these 24 things? Let's go. I'm going to go through real quick outside with you. Person could get excommunicated the following ways. If you mevazeh, you embarrass a rabbi, whether he was alive or dead, doesn't make a difference. Embarrassed him. Now you'll see at the end what we're talking about here. Or mevazeh shliach bedin. Bedin sent some guy, and you mevazeh him. You embarrassed him. Goes on to say, another example would be, you don't accept what bedin tells on you. You have in your property, number 7. We'll go to number 7. You have in your property a dog that damages people. The dog that jumps out of the yard and bites people. Or you have a bad ladder that someone could break and fall. So they could put you into cherem until you get rid of this damage, until you get rid of this danger. Then they could take you out of there. Okay. One of the ending, number 17, is if Todos really did this Avera, for example, let's say it was a real Korban, and he told everyone, go eat it outside of Jerusalem. So over there, we have number 17. I don't know why this didn't print in order, but number Yotet, I see. The number 17 says, if you went and took people to eat outside of the Jerusalem a Kodshim, you're also going to be in Cherem. Okay.
That only implies that you done it in Yerushalayim and you took it out?
Yeah, it was supposed to be eaten in Yerushalayim, and you took out. You said to the car, you said, "Oh, it's okay. Let's go eat it outside." Yeah, there's too many people here. We'll go outside. You know how to do that. And the one of them that's written, number 4, number 5, says mezalzel. If you make ridicule or dismissive, bidavar echad, one thing, bidivrei sofrim, from the Chachamim. This was the biggest problem. This sentence, number 5. Kesef Mishnah, who asks questions on the Rambam, he says, I don't get this. We see that in other places, someone doesn't do the Chachamim, you give Makot Mardut, which is a less of a punishment. And here, in this list of 24, if he was mizalzel, he ridiculed or was dismissive with one law of the Chachamim, excommunicate. So the case of the Gemara on Berachot was about mayim to wash, and some guy made a joke on it. Mizalzel. Mefakfek. He joked. He made it suspicious. He aroused doubts. This person is terrible. He's going to be excommunicated, says the Kesef Mishnah. But a person did an Avera, let's say for example, not even an Avera. There's a concept in the Torah like this. I go to, or I tell him $1,000. Tells me, Rabbi, it's Shemitah tomorrow. I'm going to lose his money. I tell him, okay, I'm going to borrow from you, and I forfeit my right that the Torah has given me to, wash out all these loans and I own nothing. I'm going to forfeit that right. Or he's an eBay seller. He sells antiques. I want to buy this item. This is a 1,000-year-old tissue box, and I want to buy it from you, and I need to pay $1,000. You can get this for $1 in the store, but I want to buy this old one for $1,000. Torah says, oh no, the buyer could go to Bet Din and say, hey, he defrauded me, and he have to return everything. But if I do the sale with him and I say, I agree to the Torah, it gives me rights. I personally forfeit. That's no problem. Am I disagreeing with the Torah? No. I'm just not going to, I'm agreeing also that I won't use my right. I forfeit. When a person does an Averah, doesn't follow, let's say, the Rabbanon, the decree, a halacha, he's not going against Hashem. He's not angry with the Torah. He probably has some stupid reason why he's not doing this mitzvah. He's doing an Averah. But is that to say that he's a terrible, terrible, terrible person? He's anti-Hashem? No. For some nonsensical reason he's doing an Averah. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person and maybe he'll do tshuva on this. But a person who makes fun of the mitzvah, person is, oh, that's only a derabbanon, it's okay, we can have it. Oh, the rabbi said don't press this, it's okay, we can do it. That person is so bad that he has to be excommunicated. Okay? Now he says, pay attention. Todos did a big mistake here. He told the community, we're going to do like a Korban Pesach at home. It's not teaching them to eat Korban outside of Yerushalayim. It's not even a Korban. He did his own thing. And he's going to write there, maybe he didn't do anything wrong, but people will at home learn maybe it's okay. Okay. But did he have bad intentions? No. His intentions was, I want to commemorate what we had, what we lost. Really, he should get cherem. But he's not really doing the avera of eating a korban outside. So the Chachamim in the Gemara said, oh, it's like, and they use the word legozreinu, we would have decreed on you a nidui, meaning we would make up a new din, because you really didn't do any real korban outside. So what did you do? You were mezalzel, maybe. Maybe you didn't have the right respect. The Chachamim have a halacha. Why don't you go ask the rabbis before you do something? You decided on your own. But we know you respect the rabbis. Because what do? You support the rabbis. Everybody knows you're giving them extra parnasa. You're helping them. So we know that you're not a Russia. We know that you don't mean to go and to go against Hashem. You're not here to ridicule anything. Happens to be you thought with your intentions that maybe it's a good idea, and really it was not a good idea. And the rabbis respected you because we know your real deep insight is you respect the rabbis. So it comes out from here that guiding the public incorrectly is a terrible sin. Doesn't mean if I wear a black hat and I did something, anyone that represents Hashem, any Jew, you have to be very careful with what your actions are viewed as outside. Because you could have all the best intentions. But your actions, what they actually lead to, could be very detrimental. Mezalzel means you don't act with kavod. This is a very scary topic to talk about. But it shows us a very important lesson. Todos happens to be someone who supported Chachamim, so we knew, even though the action don't look right, but we know really he's a good guy. So that's how, let's say, the Rav of a shul, he gets embarrassed. He gets it from all sides. The Rabbi of a shul, everyone does something that offends him. Everybody. But he says, I know really deep down this is a tzaddik. He's a good guy. Maybe he's making a mistake right now. I'll talk to him in a way that won't offend him. But he's forgiving. But that's because I know you. And I know you. Most people don't know everyone that well. And when they see things, they're going to start to judge. You know why he doesn't do that, or he goes there, or he does this? They start to judge. And this is exactly why the Chachamim told us, by the way, you really deserve the nidui. But I can't give it to you because it's not a korban. And I can't give it to you because you're not really mezalzel. You really support us. But I'm telling you, you really deserve it. Because you did something wrong. So it comes out, you see at the end, that it's very, very, very important to take into account your actions. Does it diminish? Does it diminish? Does it remove respect? Does it remove honor to Hashem? Is something that I'm doing now, how will the public look at it? And you have to live with that type of mindset when you do things. So going to anywhere, going to vacation, going to anything, just have to make sure you went to a place that, or has a program that fits. Otherwise, what will people say? They don't know. The rabbi went to there. That's it, headlines. They don't realize. So he's telling us in the Gemara, yes, only because he supported, meaning not that you bribed the rabbi, but we saw deep down what your intentions are and where your mind is at the time. So let's do that inside. Let's finish up. We have 2 minutes. We'll do the main part. Omnam, we'll do the last paragraph. Omnam, the Fisha told us Hayam Matil Melai. Ein Lanu Lomar. You can't say Shemez Azal B'divrehim that he was doing zilzul, dismissive. He felt the rabbis were very important in his eyes. Therefore, if you weren't told us, he would have put on you chayrim. Although you don't have in mind that you're making a zilzul, you're doing a good thing. Sometimes we think we're doing something really good. Only because we know that you like the rabbis. Therefore, that's why we didn't give on you nidui. We learn she'im adam acher yaseken yechayav nidui v'gam zehu me'achav dalad devarim. And this also is from the 24 things that a person can get nidui. By the way, calling someone slave also chayav to be put into cher. You're mevayesh someone. You're mezalzel in their kavod. So if you want to know the secret to stay out of trouble, first is just don't step on someone else. Don't use him as a step to move up in life. Don't take out and think before, is my action, what's it going to cause? Famous mashal. I'll end off with this. Famous mashal. Guy needed some rope. Poor guy collected tzedakah, came to the guy's house. I needed some rope. He goes, listen, I don't have time for this. We're hosting a party here. Go to the storage, take some rope. Guy goes to the basement, doesn't find anything. He says, I can't find it. He goes, we have rope upstairs. We were fixing the chandelier, we used rope. This guy goes on top, sees this big rope, beautiful, tying down to something down there, on a loop, going this way across. He says, perfect, it's the exact size. Cuts it, and you hear, ba-bam! The big chandelier that he has underneath this attic just collapsed and smashed into smithereens. They come running at him, what are you doing? He goes, what do you mean? You said I can take rope from the attic, I took. He didn't look, he didn't think, he didn't pay attention, he didn't care what the outcome was. He just was worried for himself, and he did for himself. What did Chum say? Chum say, that's not how we do things. You gotta look, and you have to pay attention. What are your actions, even if you have great intentions? Just because you had great intentions doesn't mean anything, because most pathways to Gehenna were paved with great intentions. Every liberal you listen to, they had great intentions once upon a time, and then it all went south from there. We have to be very careful when we take intentions, and we have to really look through and see if our intentions, if they really truly match up to something that's called emet. Thank you, everybody.